We're back. It's 464 podcast. I am Luke Schlem, your host. Today we have Colin back again. I know we missed him last one. Where were you, Colin?
Hello. I was in New York, South Carolina, Alabama, Atlanta. I was on like a little work mission.
We missed you.
Yeah, I know.
It was a good podcast.
God's
we did it like in a little room.
Yep.
It was Riley was there. It was sick.
We did the tournament with God's Pantry in Bahama Golf,
great.
So I missed the first half of this, but here I'm back for the second.
Yes. Well, today we have a very good guy, a very good friend of mine, Jimmy Palmieri, head pro here at Bahama Golf. My coach, awesome dude, spectacular golfer. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, excited. We got our grand reopening party today. Pretty stoked to have the 262 crew. We got Nosotros. We got Day One. We got Prime. We're doing giveaways, contests.
LA Golf Putter.
LA Golf Putter.
Scotty Cameron.
You guys,
Scotty Cameron.
You guys got a Scotty Cameron?
Yeah. We got a Scotty Cameron. My guy, NorCal Putters, did a little custom job on it. Looks like
Shout out.
charcoal black with some slime coming off of it. It's pretty slimy, I would say, for sure.
Yeah, I think both those putters are...
If I'm allowed,
Scotty.
I'm definitely going to be getting into probably both.
I would definitely.
Yeah.
I would actually probably disqualify you.
That-
but hey, you know what?
Would not be the first time that I've been
You know
kicked
what?
out of
You know
golf
what?
something.
We can let you play it.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah,
We're not,
no,
Double the buy-in?
Yeah.
I heard that we have maybe quite a few RSVPs.
Yes,
Is that
yes.
something that I maybe
Yes.
did today is
Yeah.
happening?
You want to shout him out too?
Yeah.
You give him the shout out.
Yeah,
for
only Nai. Thank you for getting involved and posting that. I appreciate it.
I think. Thank
Yeah.
you, I think. We got a lot of people coming. It's going to be awesome.
We have door security now.
Redoing that one. Hit it again. Thank you. What?
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, man, I'm excited to have you on. It's we've been trying to plan this and finally found the right time. And Colin's in town. I'm here and. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I know Colin has a list of questions that we kind of, been talking about, and Colin, I'll let you jump right in.
Yeah, well, working on, providing our listeners the best content possible. And a huge part of that is making sure that you guys are able to find something actionable. If we bring someone on that you guys enjoy or aspire to be like, or someone that's inspirational to you, we want you to be able to follow in those same footsteps, or at least have, a few founding steps, start off on the right foot. But with that being said, we need to understand who you are, what you do, Jimmy Palmieri. Tell us a little bit about yourself. How'd you get into the golf world?
Yes.
How'd you become the golf pro?
Yeah.
The rundown. Grew up in Branson, Missouri, out in the sticks, small town. Luckily, it was a pretty cool town. Had a nice lake. I grew up wakeboarding every day. I played all sports, small school. That was the good thing. If you could run at all, you could pretty much play any sport.
You could run and throw?
Yeah, exactly. And I did. 7th grade, we moved. Went to a school that had a golf team. We moved to the country club that it was the school's home course.
Oh, cool.
I was still big-time baseball. Went to baseball camp all year, every year. The baseball camp coach actually quit the camp to come be our head coach at the high school. So that was kind of the plan. Got a little bit hurt my freshman year. Wasn't able to play in all the practices. Wasn't eligible for games. And that was kind of like the break I took. My dad takes us on a little vacation, says, Jimmy, come on, play some golf with me. And he'd always taken me as I was a kid, and I'd always come out there and I'd slap a ball around, hang out, just to basically go hang out with my dad. And it was weird, though. Something different kind of happened, and I went down to one of the golf practices that my school was having. One of my friends was on the team. This was right after my freshman year, and I hit a couple shots, and the coach for the golf team he was our 8th grade gym teacher. So he saw me hit a couple shots, and he would mispronounce my name. Palmyra, he'd call me. Palmyra, come over in here and hit a shot. All right, yes, sir, Mr. Shot. So I hit a shot, and it was pretty good. So I'm like, okay, that summer, my dad's like, come play. Get us at a club, start playing. 3 months in, he invites me to play with him and his 2 buddies in a 4-person scramble shotgun, just like the one we played in. And first hole, par 3, the third hole, the first par 3, I get up there with like 20 people watching, and I make a hole-in-one.
No.
After playing for 3 months.
If you have played golf, you know that's it. That's the start. There's no end. That's it. And so the story goes.
I put down the baseball bat, the football, the basketball, even
3 months.
Even the wakeboarding and skating.
Damn.
BMX riding. I did a little bit of everything. I was like one of those obsessive kids. I got to a certain level in everything where I could hang. I relate. You're good at it, but you're not great. Right. I need to find the thing that I'm great at. I'm still finding that. And also, so kind of backtrack a little bit. That freshman year when I did get finally in, before I kind of put it down, one of the last games we played, big game, end of the year. Kid in front of me gets on base. We got 2 outs. I'm up. We're down 1. So the tying runs on first. I'm trying to hit him in or at least just get on base, right? He gets picked off. Game's over.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, like, he just took that from me.
You.
Like, I didn't even get the chance. Then after the hole-in-one and everyone's going crazy.
Yeah.
And the funny story behind that, and I've told it before, but it's like a little bit wild. That hole had a sign on it that said hole-in-one wins an RV.
No.
We played the whole round thinking I won an RV. Everyone was going crazy. We get in the sign. They'd put it on the wrong hole. It was supposed to be on hole 5, and that was hole 3. The way that insurance works, because when you get a hole-in-one contest, the person doesn't pay for the Lamborghini.
Yeah.
They buy insurance, and then the insurance, if someone happens to get that ace, they get you the car or whatever it is. So the insurance will not pay if it's on the wrong hole, if it's not the right distance.
Oh, wow.
So quick interjection here. Obviously you're in the golf world. You've seen, I can't think of her name, it just slipped off the tip of my tongue. Female golfer, hole-in-one, won the $90,000 Mercedes, I believe it was. Ooh. And they have not paid out, but it's recorded on video on a small tour, on a mini tour.
Yep.
And so right now she's actually suing because they haven't paid out, but everything according to the regulations she
was in.
How do they verify that?
So you're supposed to have when it gets to a certain spot. First of all, you're supposed to have witnesses. Second of all, at a certain height, like when there was the Lamborghini at Pelican Hill I went to, and I was the actual. They had to bring in someone that's associated with the PGA program. Yeah. I had to sit there. They had a videotape going with an iPad on the opposite side of the hole, and one with me all day going, backing up to the cloud.
Yep.
Solar charged or whatever, just out there all day. And then I was the actual witness as well. So, most of the time it's not that wild. Most of the time just a couple ladies or, wives of the guys or a couple friends or, adults. Witnesses is all you need. But yeah, if you don't hit those stipulations, you're not getting it. So it sounds like to me that the old tournament director decided to save the $2,500 in budget and just assuming no one would make it. Yeah. That's a tough scene.
And just because, once you get to that level too, where you have an organization, you have an institution backing her.
Yep.
It's like. Yep. And you have the video, you have the crowd. The crowd rule in golf. What do they say? You lose a ball when the crowd would have found it in a PGA tournament.
Right.
We don't get to see those PGA players hit those balls that, are 6 inches deep in the grass and you can't find it and you're searching for more than 3 minutes.
Yep.
But she had the crowd. She had it all.
I'll tell you what. Yeah. There's an unfortunate, aside from being the head golf professional here, that's an important distinction. We have golf professionals and we have professional golfers. I'm lucky enough to be both. I play, professional mini tour golf. I play qualifiers, open qualifiers, everything you can get into that isn't really Korn Ferry Tour or PGA Tour yet. I play in. There's an unfortunate slight dark underbelly in the mini tour pro golf scene, where there is a couple instances in history here, like the Big Money Tour, where they had this huge tournament with this supposed $100,000 first place payout. They run the event, they take all the money, and these people still haven't been paid in 6 to 8 years.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people that have that really great idea of, man, why are we playing in this mini tour where the owner is taking 30%? Why don't we just start our own and we get these entry fees, and then all of a sudden the cost of operations, and then all of a sudden somebody's a little in debt and the money goes into their account, and then all of a sudden it gets wiped out from their debt, and then everything starts to spiral and it's crazy. interesting direction we're taking this, but that is certainly something that has come up, especially at the level that we're kind of at currently in the mini tour scene. There's a lot of really good mini tours too, but you definitely have to keep an eye out, and there's a lot of money changing hands, and anything can happen.
So now that you kind of told us a little bit about yourself, I want to touch on the reason why we're here. Really, is Bahama Golf. Tell us about the new technology that I think is kind of really evolved over the last few years, which is the golf simulators. A lot of people don't know what they are. So give us a little rundown of Bahama Golf, what you guys do here, what makes you guys different, and
maybe how you got tied into Bahama Golf.
No, it's funny. You guys pretty much nailed it right on the head on the easiest path into this story. So, I've been in the industry 17 years now. My first job basically was a cart kid at the country club I grew up at. Worked my way up to assistant pro, came up and actually became a tournament director, so I was really into the operations side of things, and kind of got as high as I wanted to get into operations, and started noticing I was indoors a lot and just on the computer, so I kind of went the instructional route, which is, if you're in the industry, that's kind of where the money's at, but it's also hard work. It's teaching lessons, a very intimate situation. You don't really have any time to take a break. You're right up front. So I've always been at green grass places. I've always been at a golf course. I would have never, ever, ever gone full-time in a place like this if the technology wasn't there. And even up as soon as 5 years ago, it wasn't. So I would see these places pop up. I'd go stop in, and you hit 3 or 4 shots on the monitor, and you feel like you hit them all pretty similar, and you're getting drastically different readings. And it's like, not there yet, not there yet, not there yet. Well, I was interim head pro, a first assistant at a private country club in the area, and our founder, Will, great guy, dreamer, big time dreamer, like a really kind of wild character guy that only someone like him could make some of this happen. You know what I mean? So the quick genesis of Bahama Golf is basically he bought this place as storage for his Amazon stuff. And then he starts selling Amazon stuff, and he starts selling some golf stuff, and he notices the markups like way better, and he's making more money, and it's moving faster. So he buys this storefront in a mall for just storage for all his golf bags and stuff. Right.
Especially if you look at the front.
Just a weird flex, right?
Especially here in this center, because it's a beautiful center.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So closed doors, nothing's open, no sign out front, just a closed locked door with storage. Well, someone new buys the place, and they're like, dude, you gotta open. Like, we're a mall, basically. You gotta have something going on. He's like, all right, no problem. Opens the doors and says, come walk around and look at my Amazon stuff. And then builds himself a little golf mat with like a really remedial program, not very good, with a net.
A home built simulator.
Right, just for himself to hang out on.
Just so he's not bored.
Then people start wanting to hit on it, and he's like, wait a minute, something could be going on here. So then he builds 2 decent simulators and decides to go full golf route and goes crazy and buys just hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of merchandise. We got golf clubs, we got clothes, we got hats. It's a giant pro shop with 2 simulators. Well, people are coming in and being like, oh, nice hat. Let me hit some balls in the simulator.
Yeah.
So you can't compete with the Roger Dunns, can't compete with the Golfsmiths, can't compete with like PGA Superstore
Golf
and stuff
Galaxy,
with merchandise. 90-day returns. We're not doing any of that. No
Love
chance.
a 90-day return, though. Shout out Roger Dunn.
Yeah, everybody loves that 90-day return. If they gave you the right club at first, you don't need to return it. All right. So anyway, love Roger Dunn, by the way. Anyway, so he sees like this giant need for people wanting to hit balls in the simulator. I had started kind of coming around at that point and teaching a few lessons on commission, and I was actually selling some merchandise for him online and just kind of forging a bit of a relationship. And my buddy Vinny is one of my best friends, and I'd ran his academy, had kind of gotten in contact with him, and things started flowing. And then it was like, hey, you know what? Let's do this right. No one's buying merchandise. Let's build some real deals. That's when they went to Unicore, shout out Unicore, and got all the best technology and built 4 simulators out front, a private one in the back, a full tour style build studio with a guy that's like basically a mastered tour builder, and a private bay in the back.
Yeah, place is beautiful, by the way.
Yeah.
So then I start coming in and I'm like doing a lot of lessons.
Yeah.
Because now it's hot and...
It's the new thing.
When was this? What year?
This was this year.
Okay.
This was this year. We only have been in this current form since about April.
Oh,
so
wow,
as soon as it got warm, I'm coming over here and I'm teaching a few lessons on commission. And then Will starts talking to me, and his buddy, his brother's friend, Gabe, came in and started being like the GM. And Gabe was spending 15 hours a day here, 7 days a week.
He's obsessed.
Well, there was no other choice. There was no one else. I mean, we're coming in and out to do lessons, but we're not hanging out.
Yeah.
We're not working in the store. We're doing lessons. Mm-hmm. So then Will and Gabe and I kind of had the conversation, and, whatever you want to call it, Will saw something and liked how I was here. Helps out a little bit. My family history has some history in Corona, and I know a lot of people in the golf industry in this area, having been here the last 12 years. So it was constant people walking in and, hey, Jimmy, kind of deal. And Will was like, hey, man, we need you here more often. Things are going well when you're here. We like it when you're here. And they made me a sweetheart deal, man. He offered me my first ever legitimate SCGA club affiliated head pro position.
Nice.
And he said, you're coming in and out making commission, and what are your best weeks like? And I tell him a number, and he's like, we'll add to it and we'll make that your salary.
Fire.
And he's like, to feel valued like that, he knew me well enough. He vetted me for the year and a half or so we knew each other, and he was like, instead of this kid, if I tell him he's on salary and he's not making commission from his lessons, instead of sitting back because he knows he's got the income, he's going to work twice as hard. And he's right. Yeah. I mean, I'll spend 10, 11, 12, 13 hours here, no problem. And teaching 8 or 9 lessons here is way easier than teaching 4 or 5 out in the billion-degree weather outside. So that I legitimately stepped down as interim head pro, first assistant, until the new director of golf got there at a private country club in the area to come be the head pro at an indoor facility in a mall. If you would have told me that 3-4 years ago, I would have said you're crazy. The technology wasn't there. Yep. I will not put my name or attach myself to something, something like that with anything that is subpar. If it's not
subpar,
hey, punny.
This guy shoots subpar, by the way.
That's right. So anyway, no, that, like I said, a little bit of a long-winded answer there, but once the technology hit the spot and everything kind of just came together perfectly, man. It was like, they were going in a little bit of a new direction at the private club. This place was starting to blossom. We hit a certain number of members. We were doing the membership model, which is just so good. We have 4 tiers of exactly. Yeah. And it's been really awesome, and we're building a crew, a little bit of a Bahama army, and we're just really stoked. And you guys are really a part of helping push us to that next level that we're looking to get to. It's been a really good relationship. I'm excited to see where it keeps going.
I love it, bro. I love it. I love golf. It's gotten me mentally better just because I've been able to kind of, you guys all know, slow down a little bit. And,
you're very much like me. That's why we work together, and I appreciate you. Yeah, you're one of my star pupils. And,
I love
the cool thing is every time you come in for a lesson with me, it's like our sanctuary. We have that hour where we communicate on that other level.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not the normal just Jimmy and Luke talking. It's that level, and it's nice to elevate for an hour and really get into it.
Golf is I would say changed my life. I'm sure both of you guys can say the same. It's it's giving me challenges, but it's also giving me love for it, and it's giving me. I tell people I got the sickest setup. Still can't hit it. Still can't hit it. I look good. I feel good. I got a sick bag. I got everything. I'm swinging Pro V1s. Going through 10 of them every. It's costing me. It's costing me more golf balls than
the round. Been there. I still, and that's crazy.
I love it.
And that's what I try to tell him, and I try to tell everybody too. It's like, no matter what level you get to, I'd like to think I'm pretty decent at this game at some point. And no matter how good you are, those days still pop up where you play a certain course on the wrong day, your shots are just this little much off, all of a sudden you're 3 or 4 sleeves of golf balls in, and you're like, hey, yikes.
One of my goals, I know we were talking about earlier, in golf there's a lot of different goals that you can set for yourself, especially depending on where you're at, what level you are. my first goal, like becoming a decent golfer, was just, hey, let me play with one ball all round long. If I don't lose a ball, if I don't go OB, I'm going to save a stroke or two, maybe 4 or 6.
I still am happy to this day.
I love
with that same ball.
Yes, so that was, and fortunately, that is something I can say over the last 40 rounds. I have not gone OB, which is fantastic.
Dude, you went in the water yesterday.
That's not OB.
When did I go in the water?
Specifically,
and
not
water's
OB.
not OB.
Dude, he was telling me a story at Upland Hills yesterday that.
No, this is gonna get
Things just turned.
Dude, tell me so many crazy things, right? He's telling me the other day, or no, that was Brett. Last time he was at Upland Hills. We'll talk to him. He's next. Dude, all of a sudden, there was a beehive, and a guy got stung 100 times and jumped in the fucking water, bro.
It wasn't my ball, though.
I know we're going crazy, but yeah, a beehive.
I've had to hit the ground before in tournaments, dude, where everybody bees.
No way.
Everybody hits the ground. Yep.
Something about like a course, the smell of fresh grass, like the water, the sand, like the clubs, like dude, it's just
golf is the best. Man.
Nothing like it, you know. Nothing like it. And I will tell the story on the next podcast too, because it has to do with him. But about 5 years ago, I'll touch a little bit. I bought a nice set, nothing like I have now, but it was decent, right? Nice bag, whatever. Didn't really have a nice outfit because I didn't really have much swagger back then. Now I have a little bit more. And so, it was a orange. I used to wear orange and shit, like weird ass colors. Well, I golfed one day, and at the end of the golf, I got so frustrated. I said, "Hey, Brett." Brett was just getting into golf, and I said, "Hey, Brett, you take my clothes. Here's my shoes. I'm done golfing. You take my bag. You take my clubs. Here you go. These are yours." And then fast forward 5 years later, and I'm golfing. We golfed yesterday, and I'm golfing. I have a new set,
making birdies,
and I have my old set with me again. So it's a funny story because you get frustrated with golf, and then you give it you give it away, and then you go back, and then you know. Dude, and it's now I'm here to stay.
It's gonna continue to be like that though. There's ebbs and flows in this game,
golf.
Yeah. And no matter what level you're at, like you seem lost some days, and some days you feel like you can never lose it. And I've broken clubs.
Oh yeah, and it's crazy because some days the other day when I left my lesson, I was like, dude, I suck at golf. I hate this sport. And then yesterday I hit almost 3 birdies, dude. And I was like, dude, this is.
Let's go.
This is amazing. I want to golf today, tomorrow, next week. When's the next tee time?
Well, luckily we have some golf today with our grand reopening.
I know. I hope I get some. Hopefully there's enough. Spots with all the people for the bays. We're
probably gonna need to start setting up some more stuff soon with our 260 something.
Yeah, you're gonna need a bay. You're gonna need another bay right here.
Yes.
But real quick, I know we don't have too much more time. I want to ask you on another direction here. Yeah. Obviously, making golf a career is something that you've been able to do. Not a lot of people can do that, and I can say, being someone based on your stories today, I feel like I'm, a similar level. Have always loved sports. Have dove into a ton of sports, and playing sports. You find passion growing up in different sports, and you might be really good at one, but start another and realize, oh shoot, I'm pretty good at this one too. Yeah. And then you find that passion within that sport, and you're like.
This is it.
And you kind of mentioned that, that analogy of going from baseball where you're a part of a team and an opportunity is taken away from you as a result of another's actions. Yep. And obviously there's no ill intent there. And that's the thing about sports is so difficult that things happen. Yeah. But in golf, you kind of get to take that opportunity of being a part of a team. Yeah. And yourself all in one. You are your team, but your supporters are all your team.
You get the benefit of the positive outcome, but you have to take the full brunt of the negative.
Exactly.
Yeah, which I'm fine with.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
and I think a lot of people are. It's also something that builds, it builds confidence and character in an individual, and being able to take the brunt of, the bad end of the negative aspect of things. Definitely. But the one question I have for you there is, if someone else out there, I can't remember his name. You introduced me to him actually at the Bay here, Luke's birthday. But the kid, really sharp, young, going to college.
Oh, Nathan, I love that kid. Shout out Nathan.
Yeah, shout out Nathan.
Poppy. Poppy.
Smart kid.
Hey, he's gonna love it. He's gonna love it. Shout out for sure.
I still haven't followed him on Instagram because he hasn't posted yet. Because I told him I don't follow people that don't post. That's psycho killer stuff.
That's for sure.
Poppy, post an Instagram and I'll follow you, buddy.
Okay. All right. And now the question.
He's probably here somewhere too. He's probably behind us.
Yeah.
Question for Poppy then. If you're someone like Poppy, smart kid.
Yeah.
Going places.
Yeah.
An athlete. The kid has a swing on him. I saw it. The kid's got a swing on him.
Does.
But let's say Poppy decided, you know what? I want to be like Jimmy. I think I'm good enough and I can play professional golf. If someone wants to try to make a career at golf, what would be the biggest piece of advice you'd give that individual?
So, that's a great question. And that's what I actually literally try to explain to my students, that sometimes the biggest benefit that you're going to get from me is not literally like tangible form, concept, like actual like physical movements of the golf game, but it's like you get to now have the benefits of my 17 years of learning about this game. And one of the biggest things for me was like finding a mentor. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like this guy, I didn't have an older brother, I had a little brother. So I mentored him in ways, but like finding like this assistant pro at the golf club I grew up at, and he like took me under his wing. Reggie Grant, shout out Reggie Grant. He was like my idol, dude. Like this guy played in like nationwide tour events at that time. Best game I've ever seen. Like he'd play people with one club. I've seen him make like I made an ace one time. I one-hopped it into the hole playing with him. The next time we played on that same hole, he flew it into the hole for a hole-in-one.
Michael Block
just like straight one-up me like the very next time we played. I've seen him make an ace on a par 4.
Damn.
Like the guy was nutso with a club and a ball, and like really just having somebody that could take me under the wing like that was really, really cool. The main thing that kind of has been something that I've always stayed true to is, especially these days, there are a lot of avenues in the golf world, and just staying true to being like an actual student of the game, and just being patient with knowing that I'm doing things the right way. And I hate to say like selling out or anything, but in some ways I do feel like that. Like I've never quite sold out. I'm doing it the right way. I'm going through the right steps. I've sacrificed a lot financially, time-wise, socially, mentally, to really become a student of the game. And I think that's important. I think that just trying to be a student of the game will open up avenues within the game that fit you. So like I said, finding a mentor, and then really just going out and getting involved in anything you can. Playing tournaments. Even if you don't think you're ready for a tournament, go play in a tournament. Like it's so good for your mental. It's so good for just you as a person. And growing up as the kid, the only, like one of two people under 18 years old, or under like 45 years old at the country club I grew up at, and having to interact with the adults when I was a young kid, and just like having to figure out a way to make them take me seriously has prepared me like I'm excitable, and I'm like nervous and anxiety ridden, and like I feel like positive ways. Like it's like inspiration.
Yeah, the good
excites.
nerves. Yeah,
it's good nerves.
The nerves
and that's
before
the main
a game.
thing I think out of everything that golf has taught me. That's a great segue into like the overall point here, is that when you're nervous, it's because you want something, but being able to channel that into like the positive result is the best, and it's worth the downfalls. It's worth the times where you lose. It's so, I hate losing, but that win, that random rare win in whatever it may be, business, life, golf, it's so worth like the 15 losses for the one.
It negates the negatives.
Yeah, it totally does. Totally worth it.
Yeah, there's it's I think in anything, right? Golf too, mentorship is finding somebody that you can, just talk to sometimes, because it's like we all kind of go through. I talk to Colin all the time on business stuff, like just throwing ideas, and he's like, "Yeah, you're crazy for that one," or "That's not a good idea," or so. It's like it's good to find a mentor, and I think that like
it's just like mental. It's like fulfilling in your soul too, like seeing someone that is somewhat around the way, like, you know, somewhat similar to you in a way where you can strive to at least be something like that. You know, where you don't feel so aimless. And like, I talk to a lot of people, and it's crazy because I've had this since I was 15, 16 years old, where like, I'm the golf guy. I got the golf thing. And I can't believe how many like semi-successful, normal people come to me and they're like, dude, you're so lucky. I'm like, why? And they're like, it's not even because you're good at golf, it's because you have golf. Like, you have that thing
for sure.
that is your thing. And they're like, I'm 30-something years old, I'm still looking for my
that
thing.
Exactly.
And to the outside world, they're semi-normal. They're doing everything that normal people do, but they don't have that, like, internal passion or fire for something. And
I think
I'm definitely lucky I have it. And it's also, like, I've seen a lot of my peer group go different directions. And for me, it was always something that kept me...
You stayed true to...
At least above a certain level in my own world, for sure. So it's done a lot for me.
Where, for our listeners, where can they find you? Instagram?
We got at JimmyP91 pretty much everywhere.
Bahama.golf.
At Bahama.golf, yep. Actually, we're putting up a lot of... like quick hitter instructional stuff, info about the place. I would definitely encourage anyone to stop by here. It's been really cool. I definitely expected it to be like kind of a lot of my own peer group and like really good golfers coming through. And the amount of like, you know, retired couples that are coming through because it's been like...
It's all different types.
Dude, it's crazy.
Older,
it's 115 out. Not everybody wants to go spend 5.5 hours.
How many members now?
I think around almost 230, almost closing up on 250 members.
When I started with them, you guys were at like this was like a month ago.
We were probably sub 100. Yeah, no, I mean, we
it was like 90. So they've gotten 100 members in a month.
It's been like an exponential growth process. We definitely needed a certain amount, and we're getting to the spots where it's going to be really, really good. We're excited.
Well, before we segue out of this, I know we don't have much time left. But one thing I want to, give everyone here. I think the message here today is one, take chances in life. Find something you're a little bit of passion. If you find something that you're passionate about, or if you find something that you even remotely excites you, take chance, take an opportunity, seize that opportunity if you're given it. And don't shy away from it. I think that's a big part of this, and kind of the story that you're sharing with us today is, if you want to find that thing, and I'm one of these individuals. I'm still finding my thing. There's a lot of things that I'm decent at, a lot of things that I can say I'm good at, but it is finding that thing. And for me, it might be in the business realm. I'm still figuring that out too. Yeah. But take that chance, take that opportunity on yourself. The only negative that can come from that is you getting better, whether that's at life, better at that thing. It doesn't matter what it is.
I definitely agree. That great way to put it. That's definitely something golf has made me so much better at. A couple times in my life I moved and I was the new kid, and so you're kind of starting fresh. Taking that risk. I mean, in my opinion, if you take a big risk, the worst that's going to happen is you're just where you're already at.
Exactly.
Right? Like, you only have stairs to climb up. Once you're at a certain level, you don't really fall down the stairs. So it's definitely been a way for me to become like that. And I've always been pretty outgoing and pretty confident, but deep down, it was probably more of a facade earlier in my life, but golf has made it genuine for me. Like, I'm really... It's like a big conversation you have with yourself a lot in golf, and I used to tie in like how I played at golf to how I'm doing with my life. I've been able to detach that in recent years, and imagine that my golf game's gotten better. So it's so many lessons.
Shout out golf.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks for jumping on, Jimmy. It's been a pleasure having you, and looking forward to a lot of good things coming.
Heck yeah, dude. I'm looking for your first eagle now.
I know. Hole in one, baby. Hole in one.
Ooh. I only have one eagle, and no hole in ones. So.
Thank you, guys. Remember, drink nosotros, shop 262, and listen to 464. We'll see you next time.
Yep.
Peace. Later.
Love it.